you about just getting to the quarterback. First of all, you've obviously had, I guess, probably your best start ever in terms of sacks. And what does that look like against that Texas A&M offensive line, tight ends, and tackles?
Yeah. So I think I did put in some work in the summer. So of course I wanted to showcase my abilities, and I'm going to keep trying to, perform not only for myself but for everybody else, my family, the fans, everybody. Texas A&M, they're big, they're strong. The tight ends, same way. We're going to have to really fight them. It's going to be a one-on-one battle, like for every snap. So I give them their respect because from what I've seen, they're pretty good.
And Pooh, Devon A-Chain is a guy with a lot of speeds, an All-American, the 100-meter dash and stuff. Not you necessarily, but the team had some problems tackling. What have you guys done to shore some of the tackling issues up that you guys have had as a team? And obviously you can't miss this guy or he'll take it to the house.
Coach Odom has done a great job with us this week, emphasizing on that we got to swarm the ball, we got to tackle and things like that. We've done more drills in Indy with tackling and things like that because we can't have that happen against a guy like him, man. A guy that's explosive, strong, and has great elusiveness. You can't miss tackles versus that guy because, like you said, he'll take it to the house. So we've been working pretty hard on that, taking it day by day.
Appreciate it, guys.
Tom.
Hey, guys, I know it's the next game on the schedule, but it's your first game away from home, and you got a tough segment coming up. I wonder how important this game looms for where you want to go this season. If you could both talk about that one. Zach?
Yeah, this is basically like the start of, the real hard game. So I feel like if we start off really good, it gives us enough momentum and energy to, go from the game, next game, next game, next game. So I think this game is very important because, SEC West, we're starting it. And it's very important, not only because of that, but because they're like true rivals. So it's going to be a big, major game, important game.
Pooh, what do you think, Pooh?
Yeah, just like Zach said, man, this game right here is gonna start SEC play in the West, man. This is one of our top opponents, other than Alabama and things like that. But we don't worry about teams the next week. We just take it week by week. So with Texas A&M, with a powerhouse team like that, who's been doing a great job, we just have to keep our minds on track, stay in our playbooks, study the film even harder than what we've been doing the past 3 weeks, and just keep them guys contained and things like that. Play our brand of football.
Zach, going back to last year's game, y'all broke a long losing streak to the Aggies. How big was that in terms of what y'all accomplished last year?
Yeah, that was very big. It changed the moods of everybody. Like I said, it was the start of a lot of good things. So I feel like if we do the same this year, it's going to be the same result. So I think that's why we have to start fast and do what we're supposed to do.
Okay, and they made a change at quarterback. Max Johnson, the lefty, was in there last week. Could you talk maybe about what you see out of their offense, both of y'all, with Pooh starting?
Like even with the quarterback change, like I said, man, it's a great team. They're well coached. Jimbo Fisher has done a great job with his program. So like I said, we just go out there, we play our brand of football. We don't look at anything else. We're just taking it day by day, staying in the film room heavy. That's an emphasis on that, staying in it heavy, especially with a great quarterback like that who can sling it like he can. We just have to go out there with the right mindset in order to attack this game.
Yeah, exactly what Pooh said. Just take it play by play, day by day, team by team. The quarterback, he's big, like he's really big, and he can sling it, like he said. So I feel like we need to contain him really and just get to the quarterback, hit the quarterback. That's the main thing. That will change the game.
Bob.
Hey, Zach, I know Trey asked you about getting to the quarterback, but I was wondering if I could get you a little more on that. You got 2.5 sacks, which, in 3 games, that matches your total for last year. So that's pretty good improvement. What do you think's been the key to that?
Really competition, iron sharpens iron. The way we're in practice, everybody's trying to fight for a spot, fight for a job. I mean, you're not going to just roll over and let anybody just take your spot. And, we support each other 100%. We love each other. But, it's iron sharpens iron. So I feel like with these new people that came in, they really helped push me more than I think last year because, they're really good and they're making a lot of plays too.
You talking about like maybe Jordan in particular, or just everybody? Because obviously he's getting a lot of sacks.
Landon Jackson, You know, Drew Sanders even, he's not even a D lineman. So, you know, they really help push people, and I really like that about them.
Did you have a sense that you'd be able to start this fast? I mean, from a sack standpoint?
I think so, yes, because I feel like I put in the work in the summer, and I really emphasize on that, and I wanted to show people what I've been doing over that time.
I don't know about this last game, but Pro Football Focus, I guess they chart everybody's play. And I know you had a really high grade, like I think over 70% on run defense the first two games. How do you feel about your run defense? Is that another place maybe you've taken a step forward?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to, keep my weight up, maintain weight, because, that was the bad thing about me last year, keeping my weight. But I feel like I'm taking the right precautions and doing what I'm supposed to do, and that will help me in the run game.
Well, what'd you play at last year and what do you at? I know they listed 261, but is that accurate or?
I mean, I'll gain and lose a couple pounds throughout, the whole week, but usually I'm around like 260. But last year I was probably 240, something like that. Yeah.
What's been the key to adding and maintaining the weight?
My father, because he finds a lot of people to help me with that. And I just drink these type of shakes with like 1,400 calories, and I drink them at night, and they slow my metabolism.
You say 1,400 calories?
Yes, sir.
How many of those do you down a day?
I'll drink 2 on the weekends, maybe just 1 before bed on the weekdays.
Okay. And Pooh, you've obviously been around Zach now for a couple of years. What do you think about him as a player?
Zach is a great player, and he a great leader if he don't know it or not. But, I took a lot in from guys when I first got in here. Zach was one of the ones, Zach really sat down with me and taught me, he seen the way I was maneuvering and stuff. He seen me struggling when I first came in. And Zach was one of the ones who actually, one of the D linemen that I talk about that actually sat me down and had a real man-to-man talk with me about what I've been doing and what I need to improve on and things like that. So if Zach doesn't know, man, I really do take advice from him. I really do listen to him. He's been here for long enough for me to know that he knows what he's talking about and just the way he plays, man. So, Zach is a true leader. He's a great guy off the field, and on the field, he's a dog.
What do you think about how he's rushing, the season he's having, how he's playing, putting pressure on the quarterback?
Yeah, like he said, he's been working real hard, and I can see it. Even on some days in the summer, him and other D linemen like Jordan Dominic and Landon Jackson and things like that. They was standing after practice. I can see him working on bags and things like that, just working pass rush moves and stuff. So he's been working really hard. He's been doing great.
Yeah, I got a couple more questions for Zach if Oliver can come back to me. Thanks.
Hutch,
I just got one quick one for Zach. You kind of touched on this a second ago, but having not just you, but also Drew Sanders, also Landon Jackson, also Jordan Dominic, does that help open things up for all of you guys to get pressure on the quarterback whenever there's multiple capable pass rushers like that?
Yeah, I feel like it really does, because not only are they really good at pass rushing, but they also teach people what they do and how they do it. And I feel like that's something that's very important, because, the more people you have that are good at pass rushing, the more difference you can make on defense and in the game. So I feel like, yeah, that's a major benefit.
Trey, anything else?
Yeah, Zach, you started at 260 though last year, so you lost 20 pounds throughout the season. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Just want a clarification. And you talked about a lot of the newcomers on the defensive line, but I'm also curious, Deke Adams, your coach, how much of an impact has he had with you guys having a more successful pass rush?
Coach Adams, he's like almost the best of what he does. Like, I've never met a coach that is as passionate, is as knowledgeable as he is. He'll shoot you out, but he'll do it from the right mindset, from the right place in his heart. So I feel like that's what people really need. And he teaches us new stuff that you would never even think about. So I feel like he's a major benefit to how we've been performing these last few games.
And just for both of you guys, we talk about, Texas last year, and I'm sure Coach Pittman talked to you about the history and kind of the hate that Arkansas fans have. And you guys are kind of tasked with making Arkansas proud. I'm wondering if they also talked to you about the historical significance of the rivalry with Texas A&M. And Zach, you may have a little bit more thoughts on that just because of your dad, but I was curious, does Coach Pittman talk to you guys about that?
Yeah, he does. He does talk to us about it and why it's a big deal. But I just know, just like, with Texas in the old days when we were going against Texas, that was a big deal. I feel it in other people that this is a really big game. And so I treat it like one. But I don't really exactly know the details, but I just know that.
Yeah, like Zach was saying, even if Coach Pittman didn't say it, you could just feel the aroma from the fans. Like, this is a huge game. In their mind, like, this is almost compared to the Super Bowl, so, just walking around Fayetteville, going to classes and things like that, when they know you're a football player, like hey, Texas A&M coming up, Texas A&M, even last year, Texas, they just keep bringing it up, like, we have to beat them, we have to, so, like I said, we just keep our minds straight and we just play our brand of football.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Bob, it's all yours, man.
Okay, good. I know these guys are having a great time. Zach, I think when you came up, January of 2019, when you enrolled early, were you about 215? Does that sound right?
I was 204.
204? Oh, man. Okay. Well, so you've obviously put on some weight. What was that like? I mean, you're going against these guys in practice at 204, and then you've obviously gradually added the weight. Kind of what's that been like for you? Just the progression with your weight and just obviously improving your playing skills, like where you were then to where you are now.
Yeah, when I first came in, I was like, what have I got myself into? Because usually, like, I'm the big dog, that stuff in high school. And then you finally go against somebody who's 330, 40 pounds, and you're 204. They have you by like 140 pounds. So I'm like, what am I looking at? Like, the first time I saw Dawn Wagner, I said, what is this? So, as I progressed getting heavier and stuff like that, I became more comfortable. And as the years went by, it just became second nature. So I feel like don't let yourself down or like beat yourself up when you first come into something, because it takes you time to warm up, gain weight, and it really helped me with my performance on the field. So yeah, just don't give up.
And how much better? I mean, you're obviously a real, good at SECN now, as opposed to a way undersized guy, a high school kid. I mean, just how far do you think you've come as a player, and how good do you feel about your game now?
Yeah, I feel like I've gone a lot further than a lot of other people would expect, but I still have a lot of room to grow. So I do recognize that. But as far as what was the second question?
Well, just how far you think you've come as a player, and just being you look like an SEC end now. You play like a good SEC end. You're not just some guy kind of trying to get there. You're there now.
Yeah, yes, sir. Like, yeah, it just keeps progressing, and I'm gonna keep trying to progress as long as I have over here and to the next level if I even go there. So yeah.
And Trey asked you a little bit about the rivalry. Obviously, your dad's an old Southwest Conference player. He played against A&M. Does he ever talk to you about that, or about playing against the Aggies, or what that means to him, or how glad he is that you're playing them, and how big a deal it is to beat them and stuff?
Yeah, my dad, he's very passionate about everything. So it's kind of hard to sift through what he's most passionate about. So yes, he has talked to me about the Aggies and why it's a big deal. But he also talked about, Missouri State, Cincinnati. So I get a little lecture every week about how important the next game is.
And then, ideally you would have redshirted. Obviously, coming in at 204, you should have redshirted, but there was a depth issue. You had to play. You did as well as you could under the circumstances. But looking back, what was that year like? And now you've got all this depth where you guys can rotate and stay fresh. I mean, how different is that defensive line situation you came into to what you're playing with now?
Yeah, it was definitely a learning experience my freshman year because I was kind of thrown into the fire. But you gotta make do what you got. So I guess it was a learning experience. I got some valuable playing time, and as far as now, like, it's just totally different. Like, you can see when back then, like, as soon as another group comes on the field, like, it's different. Like, it's not the same. But now, like, first group, second group, we're both the same. So our coach really trusts us in between, like, rotating us because, there's no drop. And I feel like there was a drop a few years ago.
You've still got that COVID year. And I know it's just 3 games in, but have you given any thought to if you'd like to come back and play here again next year, or what? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it really just depends on the season, to be honest with you. If I'm not happy, then of course I want to come back. If I am, then I will try to pursue the next level. So it really just depends on this season.
Yeah, Pooh, you want to say something? You look like you're bursting out to say something. You want to say something else?
No, I'm good. The floor is all Zach's.
Okay, well, I think I'm good. I appreciate the extra time.
Zach, Pooh, great stuff, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.